I wanted to take this time to talk about two things. I want to talk about the how, and I want to talk about the why. How to get the most out of the next 2 years and why they matter so much. So on the topic of the how, let me give you 4 tips to help you survive and thrive over the next few years. Firstly, and I think you've heard this mentioned a few times from this stage, cultivate your resilience. You will make mistakes, you will fall short of your high ideals and expectations, and you will struggle. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's good. It's a sign that you're learning and growing at a task that is worthy of your best efforts. And as one of our ambassadors, Ndidio Casey, said recently, discomfort is the price of growth. Now, teaching is tough. I think it may be the toughest job of all of them. It demands intellectual, emotional, and physical investment in a way that so few other jobs do. And I like to think that's why you're here, because you know that that challenge, that stretch, it will be good for you. And again, as you've heard today, even highly experienced teachers have bad lessons, have whole days that make them wonder why they're doing it. And it is a craft that will take a lifetime to perfect. So it's not that you find things difficult that matters. It's what you do with that difficulty. It's how you think about that difficulty. Is it a threat? Is it a problem? Is it a hint that you're not good enough? Or is it just normal and natural? A sign of growth, like the ache after exercise? Is it feedback that will help you home in on what works? The good news is that after a few years of watching trainees, it does seem to me that it's often those who struggle the most at first who grow into the most exceptional teachers and leaders. And I think it's because they've learned to put their ego to one side, that they know that what they struggle with today, they can master tomorrow if they stick with it. And that's why when we recruit, we look for potential. And that's a potential that we have seen in all of you in this room today. So my second tip is to keep a firm hold on your sense of humility. We've chosen you because we think you're amongst the best and brightest in our country. And you will have ideas. And you will want to challenge the way things are done. And you should do that. But do remember that you are starting out. And many people have trod this path before you. And they will have helpful directions. You will be part of a team, all trying to achieve the same goal. So ask questions first, make suggestions second. Soak up the wisdom of your colleagues. And I think humility and resilience are natural partners. If you don't expect to be perfect, you will bounce back more easily and be more willing to listen. My third tip is to protect your energy. You need to come back day after day with the same reserves that you started with. Now, when I talk to head teachers about why they want to teach first on their team, they talk about intellect, they talk about the academics, they talk about resilience, but they always talk about energy and initiative. So the best suggestion I can give you for protecting your energy so that you can thrive over the long term is to develop a rhythm of intense focus followed by completely switching off. However hard you work, however long the hours, and they will be long, you need something outside of teaching, a time when you can focus on something entirely different. And it will be different for each one of you. It could be sport, family, faith, friends, solitude, art and literature, Netflix. These are not luxuries. These are an essential part of your effectiveness. And they're not opposed to your work life. They are the platform on which your work life is built. Now, when I worked for the Head Teachers Union, I was surprised to find that 2 of my officials, as well as being full-time head teachers and union activists, were also smallholder farmers at exactly the same time. On one day it was lesson planning, the next day it was lambing. And if they can do it, I think you can do it as well. And it won't come naturally, though. Teaching doesn't reach a natural conclusion. There's always something else you could do. There's always a child that you haven't reached. It doesn't finish, so you have to decide when to stop. And stepping back from work is vital because it protects your sense of perspective. And for me, perspective is about seeing things in their correct proportions. That what is important is seen as such, and so is what is trivial. And the danger is that when you pour your soul into something without pause or relief, you can lose that sense of perspective. And that then what should be big gets overlooked, and what should be small looms large. So I think it's vital that you protect your perspective and your judgment in the years ahead. Your students need you to do this. Now, my fourth tip is to use your network. Teach First is more than just you in your classroom. Now, the classroom is the front line. It's the front line in the battle against injustice and inequality. It's where we start. But it takes so much more than a single teacher to tackle the deep-rooted issues. And you're not alone. Look around you. This is the single largest group of graduate trainees gathered in one place at this time. You share values and ideals, and you've been through similar experiences. You can achieve so much more together than you can apart. So support each other, and don't hesitate to seek help when you need it. And of course, we hope that your involvement with Teach First will reach far beyond these 2 years, and that wherever your career takes you in the classroom, into school leadership, or into the many opportunities that will open up in other sectors, you will remain part of this network and this community, able to seek help and able to offer help as well. And it is this network that will be the vehicle for you to achieve your wider vision and change society, working with other leaders across, as Andrea said, that whole village that it takes to raise a child. So learn to navigate this network from the start. Is there a problem that you personally can't accept? Then open up WhatsApp and find others who agree with you. This is what some of our ambassadors did in the Northeast when they discovered students struggling during the summer holidays. Their summer schools are now being rolled out in Redcar, Gateshead and South Shields. This is what one of our cohort from 2009 did when he realized the connection between access to high quality social care and a good quality education and opportunities for all. And the organization he founded, Frontline, now recruits nearly 400 social workers a year using a similar model to Teach First. And no, it is too late to join them. You are with us now, at least for these next 2 years. And when one of our ambassadors at the DFE wants to know more about teacher retention, she can quickly form a focus group of colleagues from Teach First. And when an ambassador in business has a work experience opportunity, they can direct it at the students in the schools that you serve. So my 4 tips: resilience and humility, energy and networks. I hope these suggestions will help you a little bit as you embark upon the next 2 years. There are many people around you who can help too. Your participant development leads and the team around them, your tutor, your mentor, and all of your colleagues in school. And I want to say a huge thank you to all of them. I also want to take this chance now to say thank you to the teams that have organized and delivered what I think is our best ever Summer Institute, and everyone who's made that possible. Our partner universities and schools, the associate tutors, our corporate supporters, and our colleagues at the Department for Education. In one way or another, all of these people stand behind you. But I think the ultimate resource that you will have to draw upon is your sense of purpose, the reason why you are doing this.